Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku podcast. I'm your host of tonight, Isaac Wolf, and joining me tonight is Didge. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you guys?
Great.
Going good. It's just tired. Dr. Pepper, please sponsor us.
Mhm.
Uh,
I would love that.
Jamie.
All right.
Jamie's also joining us tonight. How's it going, Jamie?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. This was one of my most anticipated anime of the year, and I've been having fun so far.
Nice. And the thing in question, as the title suggests, is that we are talking about Dragon Ball Daima, which is the new Dragon Ball series, and is supposedly the last project that Akira Toriyama personally worked on, which is rest in peace, you brilliant bastard. Again, but before we go over Daima, I was thinking that we could do a usual what have you watched Red, and let's start with you, Didge. What have you watched Red recently?
Oof, not a lot. Like I'm still keeping up with Kaiju. Today's chapter was really good. Left you on the same cliffhanger that it always does. But
Mhm.
it was a great chapter. What else have I been reading? Let's pull up the good old Shonen Jump, huh? Obviously still Kagurabachi. I started reading the Frieren manga, which is really good so far. Um, just because obviously I was really high on the anime, so I figured, you know what, let's check out the manga too.
Season 2 hype, let's go.
I know I
Woo!
cannot wait. I cannot wait. On the watch side, I suffered through Uzumaki,
Oh.
unfortunately. And I've really been just watching old stuff. Like I had never watched Overlord, so I'm watching that now. And I had never actually saw Neon Genesis Evangelion, so I'm watching
I
that.
feel so sorry for you.
I'm having a
No,
great
he's watching
time.
the series, just the series.
I'm having a great
Well,
time.
not just the series, but right now it's the series.
I will eventually watch the movie so I can understand or see what you guys. I know you guys are not high on it. I know a lot of people are very high on
I
it.
think I love End of Evangelion for all the wrong reasons, and it's a perfect thing to mention just to mess with Brandon. So
I like I said, I know a lot of people who are very high on it, so I'm curious to see which side is actually going to win out here. I'll report back once I'm done.
I'm scared.
I'm
scared for
looking
this.
forward to hearing about it.
Ooh.
Jamie, what about you?
It's been a busy couple of months, so I haven't been watching as much as I normally would. But I have been watching Don Don Don, of course. Had to do that.
Definitely.
I was lucky I got to do the preview at Anime NYC. So of course, I wanted to continue the hype train and keep watching and have really enjoyed it. Um they made some interesting changes in the manga, which that is what I've been reading actually. Don 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 is the only manga I've been reading for a little bit. I really like it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I feel the margarita curse now because I'm like, damn, when will they get to certain parts? Like I want to see certain things animated now. Um, but yeah, Don Don has been a lot of fun. I've been watching Ranma in One Half. That's another series that I got to see a preview for Anime NYC. That has been really great. I really enjoyed it. I think another episode came out today? Question mark. So I'm one episode behind, but I've been enjoying that. What else? Daima, obviously, been watching Dragon Ball Daima, been having fun with that. And let me see. Let me check the list to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. That might be it.
I have to watch today's episode of Don Don after this.
Yeah, I think that's it. I am like kind of off and on watching My Hero. I'm behind. I'm for sure behind. But I'm off and on doing that. Tower of God.
You can go ahead and actually I heard the second part is I haven't started the second part, but I did hear it's better.
Something tells me that it's.
Oh no. See, for me, I thought that most of the first season was okay, and then the end, I was like, oh, I started to get interested, but then of course ended, and I was gone for years. Come back, I still feel like the show is okay. Like there are some things that if they leaned into, I think the show could be more interesting. But I think after I finish this part, there's absolutely nothing else to watch that I'll like, okay, I'll keep going. But if there's anything, even just one show, I'll like, it might get cut out. It might get cut out. So yeah, that's where I'm at. My main three right now are Don Don, Ramen One Half, and Dragon Ball Daima. And reading them.
Nice. Nice. For here, it's the usual. When it comes to the reading side, well, Chainsaw Man, Spy, One, Centuria. Yeah, I haven't read the recent Kaijun chapter, but I'm going to do that as soon as we are done with this live stream. And when it comes to watching part, well, it's the usual as. Or should I say the guys the thing you guys mentioned on top of Fairy Tail, and I was about to say One Piece, but that's is on a break right now for about 6 months, which feels kind of surreal, considering this has been weekly anime for the longest time. Although the special episode, One Piece fan letter, was fucking fantastic, and to the point that it's I do believe it's the highest rated anime episode on IMDb right now. Last time I checked.
Nice.
And let me say earlier, let me tell you this: Toei Animation is giving Mappa a run for its money when it comes to the animation with their One Piece, if not better with their animation. It's the latest episodes during the Egghead arc have been downright movie quality. And that's not me just for the sake of being a One Piece fan. That's honestly, just if you look at the animation and how it's smooth, yada yada yada, it's downright movie quality. And I hope I know that. I know that Centuria aren't doing that well in Japan, so I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to sell better, because that's, as I said before, it's a manga that has potential that I wish get more views, so to speak, or should I say readers in that regard. And Chainsaw Man, well, keeps being Chainsaw Man and all that jazz. It's did you know that supposedly Fujimoto has how should I put it? Apparently he had a pitch for a harem series which he wanted to do next. I haven't seen any concrete information about it outside of just some hearsay, but well, the supposed pitch just screams for Uchimoto. But did you know about it?
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
His supposed pitch about the harem series is a group of girls likes the main character.
Oh my god, that's hilarious! I thought you said horror at first.
No, harem.
Oh my god, I've been thinking the same.
Yeah, I thought he said horror. I'm like, that makes sense. Like Chainsaw Man's already kind of horror-ish.
No. He said I mentioned it's a harem from the guy behind Chainsaw Man. The supposed synopsis is as follow. He's quick. He just did a quick synopsis, but guy and gets together with a girl, and there's another group of girls that was interested in him. They do senpunktu or personal game over, for the sake of not trigger warning words like that, and start haunt the main guy and girl because they got into a relationship. That was his idea of a harem.
Okay.
That was a lot.
Yeah, and I'm just when I heard that, I'm just that is so Fujimoto that I can't believe it, especially if you have read something like Fire Punch. But I digress. Then while watching also, no, I can't recall what I'm gonna say. But anyway, you guys have recalled anything else that you have read, watched that you want to mention?
No, I think we hit all of them. I would have said Don to Don, but Jamie got to it, so we're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
now let's go where dare I argue an important part for this.
Oh my god, wait. I just thought about something. I finished Oshinoko season
Two.
2 like a few days ago. Oh my god. I need season 3. I need season 3 right now. Oh my god.
Laughing in manga. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god. I'm low key. See, it's interesting because Isaac, in previous videos and streams, has made comments about the second arc, I guess, of Danadon being his favorite, or not Danadon, of Oshinoko being his favorite. And so now I kind of in my head am making like a theory as to why that might be, considering the ending. And I'm like, it's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, I want season 3 right now.
I want to hear your thoughts about that after the stream. So, just out of curiosity, but with that all said, let's go to point 2 of this stream, and that is the history with Dragon Ball, which is something I felt should be something mentioned. I know that me and Didge talked about it during our tribute stream to Akira Toriyama back in when was that? It was a couple of months ago now, right?
Yeah,
Like April, May, or something like that.
yeah, that sounds about right.
And we talked about our history about that. But we figured that since everyone that are watching this one probably haven't seen that stream, and Jamie haven't, as far as I know, talked about her history with Dragon Ball. So I figure, Jamie, let's start with you then, of your history with the franchise.
Yeah, so Dragon Ball is basically what got me into like anime and manga. Dragon Ball Z, yeah, Dragon Ball Z was the first anime I'd ever watched, and it was something that my mom liked watching, and my cousin, he had like the Budokai games, so I feel like the combination and like the exposure to just like different sides of Dragon Ball Z really made me like it. And then we had a bookstore back when those were more commonplace, where there was like a manga section, and so me and my brother, like, we would just like hang out at the bookstore for like 30 minutes and just like read the Dragon Ball manga, because we're like, oh, like, is this the same as Dragon Ball Z, not knowing it was like it came before Dragon Ball Z. But I really enjoyed reading that. We also read the Dragon Ball Z manga a little bit too. I was told even from a young age, stay away from GT. So I still have not seen GT. I'm like, I will at some point, because I like there's some cool things that have come out of GT. So I at least want to see that. But yeah, it kind of like changed, I guess, what my taste in media, and especially like introducing me to like anime and like eventually Japanese culture and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really important to me, and has impacted me quite a bit as a person. I feel like as a creative too.
Nice, nice. Dage, what about you? Let's for those that didn't hear on the stream.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the same was what Jamie said. It's funny that you said that this was the first anime that you ever watched. It was the first I've ever watched too. Um, and like I remember, obviously, my older cousins, they were huge into it. Um, my brother was huge into it, so it was something that was always around. It's funny, like everybody, obviously everybody's different, but like in my family, there like are definitely various walks of life. But that was of all of the cousins, that was the one thing that brought us all together, was that we like Dragon Ball, we like Dragon Ball Z, and then now it's just overall we like anime. So like one of the things outside of sports that keeps like the family together is, I may get a call from one of my cousins, yo, did you see such and such? And it's like, yeah, actually, or no, I haven't watched it. Now we sitting here, we got a group chat about it and stuff. So Dragon Ball definitely started all of that. And Z, I didn't get warned, don't watch GT. I actually don't mind. I don't hate GT as much as a lot of people do. GT, it has its fault, it has its flaws, but it also has its highs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's another part of the story, and I've pretty much been Dragon Ball that's probably like in terms of pop culture and entertainment, it's been there. That's probably one of the earliest memories because I was like 4 the first time I watched Dragon Ball. So yeah.
Nice. For me, well, I started it all through the means of reading the manga, as it was. The introduction was my cousin let me read it via the copies he had borrowed from the public library. We didn't really have the Dragon Ball anime, but we did have the manga, which is just, Dragon Ball was barely a thing for the longest time here.
Yeah.
Which is just
make fun
funny.
of people in middle school for watching Dragon Ball.
And like I said, on that stream, if I want to acquire the Dragon Ball here right now, just out of just to give a perspective, I need to. It's pretty much the cost of a PlayStation 5, and I'm talking about the price here in Sweden, which got raised for a while back. So, but I digress. But and then I started watching, reading, collecting, and I started with Dragon Ball and not Z actually, but that is to be expected with if you start with a manga, I guess.
That's interesting. I feel like I don't know many people. If not, you might be the only person that started with the manga that I know.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Which is honest, and starting with Dragon Ball, especially, like me and my brother, I'm trying to think, was it last summer, like 2 summers ago? We were watching the original Dragon Ball anime. We didn't finish it, but we got like a good part of the way through it, and I was like, yeah, if I had started with this, I don't know if I would have continued with the series, because it's like there's so many things that are like so dated with it. Like even when I was a kid looking at it, like I knew some of this stuff was like weird, but looking at it now, especially, I'm like, oh my god, like why did he write this?
It shows its age.
Yeah.
Didn't he? I know that I'm going to get some flack with it, but didn't he wrote this in about late 80s, early 90s, along those lines?
The Dragon Ball manga might have actually been earlier than that.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was 84.
Oh, even earlier than that. Huh. And yes, for the perspective, Jamie, if you went back about 15 years, even so, 9 out of 10 people wouldn't even, if you ask people on the street, 9 out of people probably haven't even heard about Dragon Ball at that time.
Yeah.
That was 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I feel, should somewhat speak of the perspective of how it has changed with the manga and anime here in the outside, overall, as in worldwide, I dare argue.
Yeah, definitely. I still feel like there's a huge group of people that like maybe don't watch anime, but also don't judge people that watch anime like they used to. So that's definitely going to continue to get bigger and bigger too. So 15 years from now, we'll be like, all it's on TV is anime. Everything's in Japanese. We're all wearing our Goku wigs.
Yeah. But do you have any else of with the memories that you want to share about your history before we move on to the big topic?
I did have one more thing, and I know for Dig this is going to be controversial, but it's a factual thing. I will say that I feel like it was like maybe middle school or maybe the beginning of high school when I found Team 4-Star and they're like Dragon Ball Z abridged. And and even though like it's some people take it as like gospel now instead of actually watching the source material. If you know the source material, I feel like that's what makes it more funny because it's just like a lot of things they're doing. It's just completely out of character, but
90%
I enjoyed it.
90% of the arguments that pop up in the Dragon Ball fandom are because people watch Dragon Ball Z abridged or Dragon Ball abridged rather than actually watching Dragon Ball.
See, but is that the fault of Team 4-Star though?
I don't blame them. They made a popular product. It's people's lack of media literacy that it's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I say 90% of the arguments that pop up in the Dragon Ball fandom are because somebody watched Dragon Ball abridged and it was like, oh, this is fact. And it's like, well, no, they made a parody.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that.
It's a shame. I'm telling you. Like I understand why people enjoy it. It was funny, but when you realize like, oh, you don't actually. And I hate to be one of those people where it's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the actual material. You latched onto a joke and took it for real. I can't say like it's a problem. Like
yeah. It's tough because I feel like on the one hand, like you create these fans that are just fans of the parody. So I don't know why for some reason they don't actually watch the show, but they just don't watch the show. And the other way, you kind of make a gateway for people to be like, oh my God, this is so funny. But like, what is the actual show? And then they go watch the actual show. So it's like, we gotta find out what is the percentage of people that actually want to go watch the show after discovering Dragon Ball through the parody.
yeah, that's fair.
Then we'll know who's in the right, who's in the wrong.
90% of the arguments.
But yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to add.
Okay. Then let's start with the...
No, sorry.
Okay.
You got me on the thinking about just some of the different fan like fan creations outside of that. Like the person who did that fan animation recently.
Yeah, the AMVs and stuff.
I can't, and I'm so upset that I can't remember the actual creator's name that did the live, like they did like the Future of Trunks, like it was like live action, like people they were fans. Obviously created their own thing.
I saw it.
I'll see if I can find it while we're talking. But like that's another thing that I really loved, just even growing up and now with Dragon Ball, was that the passion that it brought everyone. Like you were saying to you, like Dragon Ball made you a different creator. You can clearly tell with people who are making stuff like that Dragon Ball impacted them so much that they wanted to go into creation to do more like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Now it's making me think of the live action movie for Dragon Ball. I remember before watching it, I remember how hype I was. I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be so cool. And then we know what happened with that. But the fact that they're willing to give it a shot, that's how Dragon Ball was hot.
I will admit I only saw that movie, or should I say, the biggest reason I saw that movie was because when I was younger, I had a celebrity crush on the Jamie Chung. But that's a story for another day.
We did similar things, kind of. I went because I was excited for Dragon Ball. Not for. Not on her. On the guy that played Goku, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute.
Oh, what's his name again?
I think it's
Freaking-
I want to say Justin Chatwin.
Yeah,
That sounds like it
sounds.
could be right.
I remember that he
It is.
basically did. Didn't he basically put sorry, Akira said that we fucked up the movie or something like that?
Yeah.
When they come to
I wouldn't be
Fun
surprised.
fact, by the way, in James Masters, who played Piccolo in the live action movie, which I argue to this day is one of the best parts of that movie, but that's a story for another day. He is the English voice for what's the guy's
it's
name
Zamasu?
that yeah, Samasu, honey, he's the English voice actor for Samasu. And it did supposedly, don't quote me on that, but supposedly did that role for free just as an apology to the Dragon Ball fandom.
Yeah, I saw that post. I'm like, wow.
He
better
did
than
a
me.
good job voicing him, so
Yeah.
but then again, he's a good actor.
Yep. Sometimes, you do a bad movie. You gotta move on.
Yup.
Gotta move on.
Exactly.
And it's from Robot Underdog. That's the one who did the Light of Hope, Legend of Trunks live action thing. I had to figure it out so I could give them their just due.
Send me the link and I can put it in the description.
I got you.
So, and well, are we done now with the history of Dragon Ball now?
Yep, until I think of something else.
Okay, let's go with the Dragon Ball Daima first look, which we were kind of mixed on when we first talked about the preview and all that. Yes, if you can recall, Jamie.
I'm trying to think. The only thing that I was kind of like on was the fact that there was no Gohan. There still is no Gohan. But outside of that, I feel like I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I was someone that, yes, where is Super? Where is Super? And
see, but now we
some
know.
Extent, and to some extent, I am still that. But with that said, this is a story that follows the team after the Majin Buu saga, where they are getting turned into children again due to a new demon king that is scared of Goku and his friends and tries to make them weaker in hope that he wouldn't attack them and all that jazz. But it backfires, and obviously they are chasing them down. And
it's
we are
King Goma.
King Goma, thank you. And that's the synopsis of the show, so to speak. And I asked Didge, I want to hear you. What's your opinion of this first 2 episodes? Do you like it so far and all that? Yes, what you get?
It's great. I am having a blast. I am enjoying the funniness, all of the humor, all of the cutesy art. I think the art direction that they did, like seeing some of those Buu Saga fights reanimated with this new art style. I think I messaged Jamie immediately after I watched it, like, yo, this shit's beautiful. Like, it's been great. I'm having a grand time. I think it's only going to be like 26 episodes, I heard, or something like that. So I'm kind of sad about that.
Pretty good.
It's good, but like, I now you don't wet my whistle with more Dragon Ball. You gotta keep it coming.
100 episodes.
I thought it was I think Mike said that, but before he said it, I thought it was just going to be like 15 or something.
Oh, see, now we're going lower. That's not what I wanted to hear.
Wait, hold on. Well, we gotta get an actual number there.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I
Overall,
try to find one, but I can't find anything.
Let's
But
see.
if any,
yeah, I'll look
is
in a
there
second.
is there anything that sticks out to you when it comes to the Daima so far?
I mean, I know I understand the people who are saying that it's basically GT all over again. That was why I put the we don't have our what's his names up, but that's why I had the it's like we're on a grand tour because I do think it's very GT reminiscent. But that was the parts of GT that I enjoyed. Like I like the I know you're right when you were talking earlier about Dragon Ball being a little wild for this time.
Yeah.
But the silliness of it, I do like.
Great. Yeah.
And that's what I think I'm really liking about this right now. Like it's very silly. Like them not knowing how to fly because they're in smaller bodies and having to readjust everything is funny. That's hilarious to me. Them not really understanding how to manage their power just in general. Like Goku went you could tell he was like, all right, well, different body, I gotta train. Everybody else is trying to figure out the problems and stuff, and he's like, "No, I got to be ready for a fight." So, like, I think it's doing.
I thought it was so funny when Piccolo approached him. He's like, "Oh, you haven't figured that out that yet?" And Goku's like, "Have you?" He's like,
He tried. He was like, "Yeah, of course." Tried, failed at it. Like, oh, okay, no,
yeah,
not really.
that was funny.
Or like Vegeta thinking that he's going. He's like, "We're in smaller bodies. Like, you should be able to fit all of us." And like being upset because he can't go. It's the silliness is great.
Nice. What about you, Jamie?
Can you restate the question? I was just gonna go on a rant.
What are your feeling about Dragon Ball Daima so far?
Oh, I really, really enjoyed it. I will. Okay, let me get my quick nitpicks out of the way because I have way more nice things to say. So my first of all, where is Gohan? I have to say this.
He's not showing up.
Listen, he was verbally mentioned, so I feel like he will be on the screen at some point.
The crazy part is they showed his battle with Super. And I'm sorry to cut into yours, but you brought up a very funny point of like they showed his battle with Super Buu, and then talked about change everybody who was a kid who fought Buu.
Yeah.
And he didn't get. We don't know if he got changed or not.
See, that's why I feel like they did it because they're like, Gohan fans, don't worry, he's gonna be there. At some point, he will show up. But this is the thing: he's not getting on the spaceship. So what do we? I don't know.
I mean, there's a second spaceship because Vegeta hasn't went yet.
There is this. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be on that second one either.
I'll try to give you hope.
I don't think he's.
He's
honestly like.
And stuff.
How? Pan might be like a. Does she exist at this point? Like,
yeah, I don't think she was because. Yeah, she didn't. I don't think she exists yet.
I don't know, and like.
Okay, yeah, good point. She didn't exist. She did existed after the time skip on Dragon Ball Z.
It would make the most sense if, as soon as they turn into kids, because they've been kids for like. I don't think even a whole day, but it's been hours. Gohan did not call once to be like, yo, I am a child. What happened? He didn't say anything. Like, come on.
I don't think he's a child.
That would be so disrespectful, actually. Either way, it's bad. Either way, it doesn't work. But that's my first one. And then I think my last one for right now is I feel like it took a little bit for the new adventure to start, but I will cut it with, I feel like I'll cut my criticism by saying with the time that they're taking to start the journey, I do feel like they're doing good world building, kind of getting used to the idea of like, oh, like, people pointy ears came from the demon world, like explaining all of that. So I forgive it. I still kind of like, I want my cake, I want to eat it too, or I have my cake, want to eat it too kind of thing. But, I'm willing to scratch it off the record because I'm like, overall happy. But yeah, I really enjoyed like the flashbacks and like reanimation for some scenes throughout like Dragon Ball. That was really cool to see. And was also really surprised that this isn't continuing from the I guess where we left off on Super, and it's kind of like gone back in time. So it kind of makes me think like, I guess, is this just like a contained story that doesn't really affect anything in the future? Because it's like, clearly if you go into Super, like they don't really talk about like any of the things mentioned, or like, yeah, I remember when we got turned into kids because the demon world, blah blah blah. Like, nobody's gonna mention that. So.
That's a point I want to bring up later, but yeah.
I thought this was a perfect point to bring that in. That like,
Yeah, okay, then yeah.
Dragon Ball apparently has multiple timelines. Like
that's where did you hear that?
That's what I'm wondering.
That's essentially so. That's what Christian was talking about when he was saying that GT is canon now. Shueisha.
Wouldn't that mean that there's only one timeline?
No, so basically the way I guess Shueisha, I guess that, and I might be mispronouncing, basically the company that owns the license.
Yeah.
They in their official Dragon Ball timeline guide has the timeline of Z going into Super, Z going into GT. Like all of it is canon. So it's like I don't know if they have like, I don't know how exactly they're explaining it fully because it was in Japanese. I couldn't go beyond it. But I'm not honestly. It kind of tracks when you're thinking about like Future Trunks timeline in the show. Why are we surprised that there aren't other timelines?
That is fair. Well,
that's fair.
If there are going to be, if the timelines can merge or like things can kind of cross over, I would like to see some things then. If that's going to be the case, I would like to see some things. And with this being, sort of similar to GT in circumstances, I'm like, can we get a Super Saiyan 4? I would love to see a Super Saiyan 4. I would also low-key like to see Oob, because like what happened to Oob? I feel like we don't really ever see him. And
using him. No, sorry, that's manga stuff. Sorry, go on.
No worries. And we don't 100% have to do this, but it would be cool if they brought back Launch, because Launch isn't even in another timeline. Literally, they're in the timeline that Launch is in, but like Launch is just never around. So I would love to hear like what happened.
Sometimes you grow, you and your friends, as you grow older, you guys grow apart.
I guess so. Maybe. Maybe she wanted to go hang out with what is it? Arali? From the other manga that Kira Toriyama wrote.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe she's with Krillin's ex-girlfriend, the one that he named his daughter after.
Who was that?
Her name is Marin. I saw somebody tweet about it the other day. It was another blue-haired woman. Her name was Marin, apparently, and that's his daughter's name.
Oh, that's.
Didn't she
okay
get together with Tenshin Han?
Oh well, it's a wild world out there. Maybe.
I'm quite serious. Maybe it's a Mandela effect, but I swear.
I'm gonna Google it. Marin Dragon Ball.
But yeah, having it being different timeline is honestly what makes sense, because there is some, how should I put it? There is easily some parts that you could argue is contradicting between each other already. So the fact that they are having them in different timelines makes sense.
I don't know how I didn't even think about this. Never mind. I'm changing my number one. If we're gonna have different timelines, can I have the timeline where things happen the way Akira originally intended, or Akira Toriyama originally intended, where Goku is dead and Gohan is like the guy? Can I have that timeline?
No.
Please. I would love to see it. My god!
Didn't he have Goku return just out of sheer pressure?
Yeah, pretty much. At least that's the rumor.
That's what the rumor is, that like the Japanese fans was like, "Yo, who was this?"
Like, you know who it is. You know who it is. Don't do this. Don't act like that. But that would be cool to see. What the hell? I thought that was Bulma.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna send you the picture too, Isaac. I was typing it out. Jamie
Is
just
that not Bulma?
Jamie just replied.
in Discord.
Wait, which one
Or-
is
Yeah,
Bulma?
Bulma's the one in the Capsule Corp shirt.
Oh,
Obviously,
she could have worn a Capsule Corp shirt.
that's fair. But you see the difference in blue.
Slightly. Honestly, it looks like it could be a coloring error.
That was why I had to find a picture of Bulma there too, because every other picture I'm like, you're just gonna be like, this is Bulma. Why are you sending me a picture of Bulma? So I had to find one that had both of them, so I could show you.
When did she exist? I feel like every time I've looked at this character, I thought it was Bulma.
Oh, she was in the Android Saga.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have those DVDs. I've barely seen
The
it.
Garlic Jr. in the Android Saga.
Yeah,
I can't recall her being in the manga like that.
Oh, you know what? Don't
In the manga, she was for sure a Bulma too. Like, how do you tell the difference? How do you
She might be an anime only character. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, she probably is because I can't recall seeing her in the manga.
I don't either.
All.
That's so weird. That makes it even weirder. Like, why would they do that?
But,
Make her not look like Bulma. At
and
least color
also
her
make-
hair.
Wait, and also that the science makes me. What's make it even funnier is that he is known for having a rather control copy, control paste type of design with certain characters.
Yeah.
Dragon's Quest is a prime example of that. And hell, have you guys seen the latest in the Dragon Quest? Have you seen the main character in that?
In Dragon
I
Quest,
think I have.
I haven't.
His designs do look very like, even if you look at Sandland, like you can tell that was made by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
He had a style.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, I like it.
It's
Bro,
I mean,
I wanna make a video
there
about
is all.
this
I think I saw a reel on Instagram. I can't recall when, but there was someone that drew what it looks like Goku without the hair, and then
I know exactly which one you're talking about. Where it's Goku, then it goes to Vegeta's hair, then it goes to like Bro. Yeah, I know exactly which. They even had the one where the eye would go there, so it was just Tien now. Like it's crazy.
And I mean, you clever son of a bitch to an extent. That probably helped him out a lot when it comes to drawing the manga.
What made it insane was that looking at it with each different hair, I was like, yeah, clearly, this doesn't look like the rest of them until you see the hair move between it. And you're like, oh my God.
Also, this is Hero from the latest Dragon Quest. And isn't this sort of like Trunks meets is it C-17?
I could see it.
I can as well.
Yeah,
Got
lot of
that.
17.
Got that 17 bob going.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I might have the 17 bob in a minute. I don't know.
whose turn was it about talking about Daima? Was it Jamie?
No, we were just kind of all three of us had already went. We were just kind of not just talking.
Okay, then I can say before we continue.
Oh yeah, I did really quick. I was talking about.
Oh, you did.
We established timelines.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to think what else I want to say. I also really enjoy the character designs. I think they're super cute.
Mm-hmm.
I really love like the effects, and honestly, like I mentioned this a while back, but totally not Mark. He made like a kind of hype video talking about how Dragon Ball Daima has the potential to be like really, really great because there's so many like all-star animators, and you can definitely already see them shining. So that's been really fun to see. I also like that we got a new setting to go to. I feel like it's been a little bit since we've left Earth. I guess maybe not if you think about Super. Maybe it hasn't been a little bit since we left Earth, but just like something that feels
still pretty much on Earth for Super.
Like, I mean, the tournament,
yeah, but like that's of the super
it's
art,
technically different, I guess, but I mean, like something that's just like completely different,
like a
feels
Namek
super
Saga type thing.
foreign. Kind of, yeah, kind of, sort of like that. It's been a minute since we had like that kind of adventure, so I'm really like curious as to like what the demon world kind of holds. And also I find it kind of hilarious that the main theme for this show is so like happy and boppy, and they're like singing about the demon world, and they're like demon wonderland. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is an interesting kind of mashup, because even though they're going the demon world, like it's not gonna be like sad or anything. Like they're just going on an adventure in the demon world.
I mean, they
So
probably
it's
wanted to match the style of intro that they had with the old Dragon Ball type of deal.
yeah,
Had it
yeah,
been
I agree.
Super, or this would have been a plotline in Super, for example, it would probably been more. Should I say, is modern the right term in this
Yeah.
case?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Also,
But
shout out to Shenron for having a loyalty program.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. That was
Said you
funny.
came back, you get another wish.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
He's doing the
it makes
classic
sense
like
as an
drug, you let
You
him
give
get a
them
little
one,
taste.
give them
Yep.
one. They gonna come back for more.
Yep. Yep.
It was a smart way of not making the villain too overpowered from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the fact that I can't remember the guy's name, but the like older are interesting. Okay, 2 points. The older Namekian, I thought they were called. They've been calling them Nameks.
Yeah, that
It
was
kind of feels like
interesting.
a slur. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Oh
when you
my.
just call him a Namek, I like
It
that
do.
sounds kind of bad.
It sound wild.
But the older Namekian is able to summon the Dragon Balls. I'm like, can Dende do that? Like, how do you learn that?
Then they might not have the power, and then Guru he died, so he probably didn't get a chance to teach him.
To be fair, he's in the age comparison. He probably picked that up during his lifespan and all that. Yes, and as Stitch said, he probably had some form of teacher himself.
Yeah,
So.
probably. I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like this show, even in like 2 episodes, going on 3 tomorrow, has changed how I viewed the world of Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, they had it so much because not only did he bring them, but they were stoned. He was like, nah.
Yeah, he's like, you're good. Wake up. Wake up. But it's so crazy because like I've never really, I don't know, like they explain the lore of Dragon Balls in a couple different sagas, but now we're like continuing to add to it, or at least in this timeline it's like a little bit different, which is interesting. Never really thought about the fact that characters have pointy ears. I'm like, oh, they just have pointy ears, but now they've added lore behind that. So yeah, I feel like they're doing a lot of really interesting stuff. I will close my thoughts on that now.
Yeah, man, that's good. Oh, I see that you mentioned that it's 20 episode in the private chat, but
Yep.
But for me, I was well, as I said before, I was not hyped for this at all because I'm someone that has patiently waited for Dragon Ball Super to come back, and wasn't it like 7 or 8 years ago that the last episode aired? Something like that.
Yeah, I want to say like 6 years. I would say it was 2018.
I just wish that I could come back and do the arc after this, which is honestly, and especially the arc after the 2 next arc that is coming up, that anime is about to, when I go back to Super, it's arguably the 2 best arcs in the series so far. But I digress. And
interesting.
How should I put it? It was neat seeing the flashback in a better animation. I'm not gonna lie, but it just, I would have liked to see it picked up pacing, and it just not feeling more like a flashback episode in some extent. Personally, I would have liked Daima to have done the Oshinoko route and started with a 90 minutes, 40 episodes type of deal with the episode, because it was just half episode recap, half, if not more, than later on. It didn't really get the chance to start.
Yeah.
So to an extent, I would argue that it just feels like this was meant to be a whole one. These two episodes wanted to be one episode, but they cut it up in two, which was my biggest issue here. Not saying that I dislike, but I will say this: going into the second episode, I liked it, and I started to like it a lot. I might not be the just fuck yes, here we go, but it seeing Goku getting his stick again, meeting Karen, and all those, yes, it did. And as you said, the more traditional Dragon Ball humor that we had during prior to see, it was a blast to see, and it also, I know this is a personal experience, but it always makes me chuckle knowing that the cat's English name is Karen, since, well, my mom's name is Karen, and she loves cats, so it's just a funny coincidence. But one of the things I was gonna mention before you talked about different timelines is that one thing that bothered me with the second episode is, doesn't this contradict what they said about the, what they call now again, the higher ups? That
the Kai,
what
like
are
the
they
Kaioshin?
The Kais. Aren't they somewhat contradict their origin, saying that they are from the demon role instead, or something like that, considering they have a higher role than Super, sort of like a shorter ambassador. You get what I mean. But now with it having a different timeline, I mean, feel like, okay, now and like you said, with future Trunks and all that, yes, it gives somewhat more leeway. And I'm wondering, I saw that the new Dragon Ball game apparently have a what if story about if Gohan again became the I'm just gonna say the Dark Gohan, because I can't take the real name serious.
Oh,
yeah,
it's kind of funny.
Even though I will give kudos to Eric Quayle as to why they stuck with that name, arguably. But that's a story for another time. There's an interview with Eric Quayle why they stuck with that English name. But I can link to that in the description as well.
So about your issue with the Kai thing, I wanted to jump in quickly because this thing about the Kais being from the demon realm, this isn't the first time that they've at least alluded to it.
I was about to say, I feel like I don't know anything about the Kais, actually.
So they alluded to it in Xenoverse with a lot of the like demigod, all of them.
I haven't just played Xenoverse, to my defense.
No, that's fair. That's why I'm just fair. I give some information. They kind of allude that like the Kais are necessary. They're like, I guess, like the Kai and the demons are like one thing, because it's like they're using demon as like a race, not necessarily good and evil. It feels like, so it's just like this race of people, and they're godly beings. So some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them become deities of the universe, some of them become rulers of the demons, and so when I saw it again, I was just like, okay, they're kind of fleshing this out.
That's interesting because I feel like Sandland also kind of plays with the idea of like who's good and who's bad. Because the main character Beelzebub is a demon, but he's a demon that's doing good things for people. So just because he's a demon doesn't make him inherently bad, even though he says he's evil and like wants to be evil. He's really doing good things.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is it. If this is the case, then it's not the first time they have taken some form of stuff from the video games and somewhat makes it canon, I guess. Since is it Android 21, the female doctor / android
I
that
think so.
originated in Dragon Ball Fighter C?
Yeah.
She is mentioned in. She's mentioned in Dragon Ball Superheroes. For those that might not remember, she has a quick cameo in the beginning.
That's right. I should get that movie on DVD.
So it's not the first time that have happened, and that's a interesting detail. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it was an interesting thing. Like I said, when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, stuff is they are kind of really fleshing out the universe of Dragon Ball versus it being like a singular timeline, which is alluding again to why I think Shueisha put out that whole thing about their like the Dragon Ball timelines.
And it makes sense because if they had been in this, and if I argue if GT Super and now Daima been in the same timeline, it would have the continuity would have not make sense in the slightest post Dragon Ball C. Because with the whole Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan God and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, it would have been tough.
Yeah, that would be insane.
It is if the situation with pop culture right now is so funny. We go from Marvel, we go to DC, we go from Invincible, and everyone seems to do multiverse right now.
Yeah, it's the hot button topic right now.
Yeah,
for better or for worse.
Yeah. So, and it's what do you guys hope seeing coming up with Daima? Is there any specific you wanted to see Gohan and Lunch again?
Oh,
Jamie,
well,
is there anything?
I don't necessarily want to see Launch in this particular show. I was just saying if somewhere in a timeline she showed up, that would be great. If she shows up in this show, that would be great. But my priority is Gohan right now. So like I don't want to hear Launch before we get Gohan. I definitely would like to see him in the show. But the way that things are going, I don't know how he's going to participate much. It does kind of seem like from the like first couple trailers that I saw, like everybody kind of stays together. So maybe they take multiple shuttles out. Like I don't think it happens all at once, but I would like to see Gohan. That's definitely number one. Number two, now that Goku's got the power pole back, I don't think he has Nimbus back, but I would love to see Nimbus back just to complete the full Kid Goku image. But I'd really love to see some combat with the power pole, especially with like these animators that have been in the industry for so long, and like I know some of them have like connections to Dragon Ball, so for them to revisit that, I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun for them and probably a lot of fun to watch. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm honestly just here for the ride. Like I was saying before, I really feel like they're fleshing out like some of the lore in ways that I don't think they have in quite some time, and I've really been enjoying that. So, yeah, I'm here for the ride and hopefully go on.
Honestly, yeah, I'm mainly here for the ride too. I'm curious to see what else they draw from other Dragon Ball properties and make it canon in this new canon. Just because I like the different callbacks, you know, it makes you go back and look at different stuff. like I didn't fully remember the stuff about the Kais but when they brought it up, I was like, oh, I know I've heard that somewhere. So I went and researched, read and looked. I played Xenoverse again for the first time in years. And it was cool. So like I feel like this is a thing to like bring you back to Dragon Ball. Like I've never been too far from it, but it brings you back to the world as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you look at different parts. So like I said, mainly here for the ride.
That's another reason why I didn't so much mind. Like I minded, but at the same time I didn't like how much they kind of like did the flashbacks in episode 1, because it definitely was like, you know, we could spend some more time progressing the story forward. But now knowing that there's 20 episodes, I'm like, damn, take your time. It's fine. It's totally cool. But so seeing those scenes reanimated was definitely something. It was a nostalgia pull for sure, and I knew that, but I was still like, I'm eating it up. I don't care. I'm eating it up.
Yeah, like
so, yeah, I really have fun with it.
That's nice. That's nice. And for me, it's I'm mostly here for the ride, and it would be fun seeing more character come into play. Maybe, like Jamie said, they do take turns. Although I dare argue, do they, as soon as they figure out how to fight in their new bodies, do they really need anyone else besides Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo? Arguably, if you really, I mean, Gohan would be a big help, but that's like. But then again, there is a Willems that not even the whole sea crew can fight. Did you know what I'm talking about? But
yeah, I think I personally would like to see more people, just because we consistently get stories with those with like the same few. Gohan is usually added to, but still, you know, just bring the whole gang along.
Is he added, Didge? Or is he present?
Superhero was basically
Superhero. Oh, is the light of the Gohan fans right now. You know, it's a light in a very dark era. I think, Didge. We need more light. We need more.
Yeah, that's fair.
But now we've gone back in time into the darkness, Didge. Where is the light? Where is the light?
I can give you something. Hope some positive though, but it's not connected to Daima. There is an indication because they have confirmed that they are going to continue Super now.
Nice.
Toyotaro said that in an interview months or so back that Super is gonna continue, and then I can already say Gohan is. I would be shocked if he's not a big part of the current arc in that manga, considering it directly follows up from Super. Super here, so.
Yeah, I don't know, because like, you know, Pan's not in danger anymore. If anything, I feel like it would put more pressure on Pan to, you know, start training and become like the next Z fighter, and maybe Gohan would get involved as like a sensei and like a father situation, similar to like what he did with Goku when he was a kid. But I really think Gohan's time is like mostly past. Like we might get a good scene out of him every once in a while, but I don't think he's ever gonna have the limelight like he did in the Cell Saga. So yeah, I think it's done, honestly. Unless we get another timeline, then we can talk.
You mean, but I do believe he might have somewhat of a semi-resurgence depending on how the current manga arc is going on. Considering how the the previous manga arc ended, but maybe we should cover Super Air manga when it comes back at this point.
I'm down. I read the Super manga. It's great. I'm having a good time with it.
I'll have to try and catch up.
There's a lot of good stuff to catch up on.
Yeah, great. I agreed. Like I said, the latest two arcs it's arguably some of the best Dragon Ball has ever been. Then, but going over for Daima, is is there anything? How should I put it? So there's nothing, not anything else that you're hoping for that you might have forgotten about.
Mm, no. The only other thing I would ask for is like to see more of Goten and Trunks, but they're like babies, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's gonna be cool to see the child Super Saiyan again. Like, do the whole GT route. Give me Super Saiyan 3 as a kid again.
That would be dope. That would be cool.
But that's about
Nice.
it.
Yeah. So, with that said, yeah, I think we should round up here. And Jamie, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me at swiper_prime on Twitch and YouTube. I've been playing through. I actually finished Ocarina of Time. I feel like last time I talked to y'all, I was playing Ocarina of Time. I finished it, really enjoyed it. Incredible game, even today by today's standards. Now I'm playing Echoes of Wisdom, my newest addiction. I cannot stop playing it,
It's a
and
great game.
it's really good. It's really fun. And I've also been doing like the 3D version of Inktober. It's like Blocktober. I've been posting about it on Twitter. After I'm done posting about it, I will not be posting much of anything on Twitter anymore because it's a dumpster fire. So I'll be on Instagram. I'll be on Instagram at swiper_art. So catch me over there. Instagram and Threads.
Yeah. For me, Didge, what about you?
Oh, you can follow me at Didge_DEE in all places. But catch me on Twitch every so often. I
Every
don't
day.
know. Not every day. Oh my god. I don't know what my next game is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be Horizon. I need to still finish those.
Ooh, we should do that, and then I can watch you.
Oh, cool. So it'll probably be that, and then on my personal YouTube page, there's a lot of tech stuff upcoming. Some more gaming stuff.
We divorced with the gaming side, y'all.
I didn't. I'm going to the side of.
I got
creation.
evidence. I got evidence.
I'm going to the creation side of gaming.
DM me if you want evidence.
Don't DM Jamie for the evidence. There is no evidence to DM for. And then also for like more of my geeky stuff at the Geek Set podcast.
Nice. Spend me all the links and I put it in the description down below.
Sounds good.
By the way, how did the Kickstarter go that you talked about earlier, way back?
Not well.
Damn.
Not well. We did not hit our goal, but it did. We pivoted from there, and it was a learning experience, and it helped us know what to do next time.
Yeah,
Glad to hear.
It happened.
I hope the
I'll be there for the next one.
episode helped something.
Yeah, no, it happens. I know a lot of people who've done Kickstarters, and majority of them they did not pass. It's a really tough thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. What it did for us though is just you learn about what your production is, and you learn about how you navigate your business, and where we came out of it after the fact. We're still a lot better than where we were going in. So I'm going to treat it as it was still a loss, obviously, because we didn't get what we wanted. But it was one of those ones where you learn and you can grow from there.
So you say it was a financial loss, but it was an profit in terms of experience.
Yeah.
Nice. And well, here you can find me at Amateur Otaku Pod. I am currently thinking about moving our social media to Blue Sky and Instagram. I have Threads, but I don't really click with it. Blue Sky feels a lot more. How should I put it? Easier to handle and all that, yes. But maybe especially since it's, how should I put it? It feels like Twitter in design, but not toxic, so to speak.
Yeah. It's
So-
a low bar, but it really is. But we're so happy to have some competition.
Yeah, but and well, you can find my writing at the Wolf Writes, and also Jamie, since you want to discover classics for your streaming channel, I am pushing for you to do a Banjo-Kazooie / Banjo-Tooie Let's Play soon, because those games are classics, especially the first one.
Yes, we did talk about that on stream. I'll have to see where I can fit in. Metaphor it might take over my whole life, but I do plan on streaming other games, as well as Metaphor too. So I don't know. We'll see.
Just so you know, I'm gonna have this as a long time push. Just so you can try it out now. Just so you know. But and well, we have 2 recordings that I have tried to make fix with the editing, but life has gotten away. But hopefully they will come out next week. Let's just say that life has been hectic the recent weeks, but it has somewhat settled down now. So, and well, hopefully I'm also gonna start with a new Let's Plays soon also, but like everything else, it's been delayed due to personal stuff. But anyway, with that said, do you guys have anything else to you know what I mean, mention before we go?
I got nothing.
I would like to ask our viewers to comment down below, like, what's been your favorite or maybe least favorite part of Daima, because you never know, maybe somebody's out there like not liking it. And do you guys agree with like the beginning? Was it too much nostalgia bait, or were you all here for it? Or do you recognize it's nostalgia bait like me, but you're still here for it? Like I'm curious. I want to know.
Oh, and your connection just with Dragon Ball in general. Like
Yeah.
Agreed. I didn't think about that. My bad. But also, are you pro Team 4-star or not? I did put poll there, but,
yes, please do that.
We didn't get any votes there, so that's a shame.
Comment carefully, Digis watching.
But that being said, have it awesome, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Please like and subscribe and hit the bell.